What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Weekly GCap, the only source you'll ever need to catch up on all the gaming news from the last week. As always, we got quite a couple stories to go through, so let's go ahead and get right into this. First things first, Atlas Fallen released, and yeah, the reviews aren't looking so hot. Right now, it's sitting at a 64 on Metacritic. Let's go ahead and read the top review that's coming from Player 2, and it reads, quote, "When you break it down, there is nothing in Atlas Fallen we haven't seen before. Everything it does, someone else has done it in another game. That being said, what Deck 13 have done is bring these elements together in a rollicking adventure that hits all the right notes for action fans, tells an engaging if cliched story, and never outstays its welcome," end quote. So yeah, it seems like the type of game where it's not anything new, it's not anything, you know, revolutionary, but it's still good for what it is. So I'll still be checking it out, and I'd definitely love to hear from you guys. Were you guys anticipating this one? Will you still be checking it out? Is it kind of disappointing for you? Next up, we had a surprise release, this being Quake 2. So it kind of like shadow dropped during QuakeCon, and I mean, if you have Xbox Game Pass, you can go download it right now, and even if you don't have Game Pass, it's definitely worth the price of admission. It's literally only $10, and plus, not to mention the fact that it sports up to 4K, 120 Hz, and 8-player split screen. So yeah, again, definitely worth the price of admission, and if you have Game Pass, you can just go ahead and download it, and I highly recommend it, especially if you haven't played the first Quake game. I mean, these aren't the types of games where you need to play the first one before this one. You can dive straight into this one. I cannot recommend the Quake games enough. I hope that we get Quake 3 Arena Remastered soon, though, because oh my gosh, that game was a lot of fun back in the day. Next up, DC Universe is going to be coming to PS5 and Xbox Series S and X. It's crazy that this game is still going. It's been out for over a decade at this point. I believe it's been 12 years. But anyway, this is coming from the DC Universe website, quote, "DCUO is headed to the latest generation of consoles with PS5 and Xbox Series X this holiday season. Along with the performance gains found playing natively on the latest and greatest hardware, the team is also working on gameplay and quality of life improvements to match. This initiative is a long-term endeavor that is already underway. You will see some of these improvements launch over the next few months prior to release on the new consoles, some of them at launch, and some of them following over the course of next year. Stay tuned for a future update with more information," end quote. So again, we don't have any like more solid information than that. We don't have a solid release date even. It's just, it's going to be coming out at some point this holiday season, and DCUO is free to play, so you can dive in, and it's not particularly like pay to win. There's not too many microtransaction-y elements. Sure, they're in there, but you can definitely play as a free player and still have a good time. In fact, I never dropped any amount of money on this game, and I had a lot of fun with it. Granted, I haven't kept up with it in recent years, but I did play pretty hardcore back in the day, and yeah, you'll definitely do fine if you just want to play as a free player. As soon as we know more, like a release date and some more concrete information, I'll definitely let you guys know, but as of now, this is a high recommend for me. Next up, this one is actually pretty surprising, but Assassin's Creed Mirage is going to be releasing early. I mean, an open world game like this releasing early, like, that's crazy to me. But anyway, this is coming from the Assassin's Creed Twitter account, or X account. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this. It's so stupid. Anyway, quote, "Assassin's Creed Mirage has gone gold and is coming out a week early. On behalf of the entire team, we can't wait for you to explore 9th century Baghdad with Basim. Your journey now starts on October 5th. Save the new date." So yeah, there it is. I'm super excited for this one. This is a return to form. You know, when I think about Assassin's Creed Mirage, I'm thinking back to that era. Assassin's Creed 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, like that type of era. Like, that's the vibes that it's giving me. I got high hopes for this one. Apparently, we talked about it like a week or two ago, but the game's only going to be about 20 to 30 hours long. Much better than the 100 plus hours in Valhalla. Don't get me wrong, I like getting bang for my buck, but that was a little too much bang for my buck if I'm going to be honest. Definitely a lot of filler that could have been cut out there, so it's nice to have another Assassin's Creed game that's more of a concise A to B story adventure, you know what I mean? So yeah, super excited for this one, and the fact that it's coming out early just shows that the dev team is clearly very confident in this one. So hopefully, you know, fingers crossed, there will be a smooth launch for this one. Hopefully not too many bugs or anything crazy like that, but yeah, super excited for this one. Next up, we got a release date for the TMNT Shredder's Revenge DLC. I am so excited for this one. TMNT Shredder's Revenge was one of my favorite games of that year. But anyway, the Dimension Shell Shock DLC will be releasing August 31st, less than 2 weeks from the time that you guys are seeing this. So it'll be new characters, new levels, etc. I am so excited for this. If you haven't played the base game yet, do yourself a favor, please go play it. It's on the PS Plus extra catalog, so you can play it there, and I believe it is also still on Game Pass. Next up, Starfield has officially gone gold. This is coming from Bethesda on X, quote, "Prepare for launch. Starfield has gone gold. Preloads begin tomorrow," which by the time that you guys are seeing this was like a day or two ago, so you guys can actually go ahead and and do that right now. But anyway, tomorrow for Xbox, Series X and S, and Windows PC, and August 30th for Steam. Just keep in mind that early access will be beginning for this game on September 1st, and then the full game will be launching September 6th. So this one's right around the corner. Super excited for it. Next up, Overwatch 2. Yeah, it's had a bit of a rough launch on Steam, to say the least. Right now, it's sitting at overwhelmingly negative reviews on Steam. It's roughly 90% of the reviews, I believe, were negative. So yeah, it's not a good split there. Things have been rough for this game ever since launch, and you know, with that announcement a couple of weeks ago, or I guess it's been a couple months ago at this point, that they were going to be dropping the one mode that they had announced. Yeah, it's just things have been really rough for this one. Honestly, I do believe that the best course of action would be to just drop this game and move on. Overwatch 2 was a failure. You know, the first game was great, had a lot of dedicated fans, a lot of fans that would still be playing that game if they were allowed to, if Activision wouldn't have shut it down. But now we're on to Overwatch 2. Not so hot. Honestly, if they just drop this one and actually do things right with Overwatch 3, I do believe they could revive the series. But I don't know. At this point, is it really even worth going on with Overwatch 2? I mean, it's a free-to-play game, so nobody's really losing anything. I mean, Activision might be losing out on some microtransaction money, but either way, it's the players aren't missing out on anything. The devs aren't missing out on any of the revenue from the game itself. Sure, they're missing out on the microtransaction money, but from like game sales, they're not really missing out on anything there. Just drop this one, move on. That's honestly the best course of action. And for our next story, Forza Motorsport is apparently going to be missing some important features at launch. So this coming from Idle Sloth on Twitter, or X on I keep messing that up. I'm sorry. It's just confusing because when you go to the website, it says X, but in the like address bar, it still says www.twitter.com. So it's really confusing. But anyway, this being sourced from an interview that took place with one of the creators of the upcoming Forza Motorsport. Quote, FYI, unfortunately, Forza Motorsport has 3 legacy features that won't be ready for launch. Spectator mode, racing with AI and featured multiplayer, or split screen. And the only reason that this is relevant or important in any way is because these features, not only are they utilized by many Forza Motorsport players, myself included. I'm not even like a hardcore Forza fan. I just like, you know, I play the games when they come out, but it's not, you know, I'm not like a consistent member of that community. It's just the games come out, I play through the career modes, I play them here and there as time goes on. So I can only imagine how the actually like full-on, day in, day out dedicated fans of Forza must feel. But anyway, yeah, like all the previous games even had these features at launch, so I don't understand it. Like split screen, why isn't that their launch? Same thing, that's the same thing that happened with like Halo Infinite before they just scrapped it entirely. And then racing with AI and feature, like come on, man, we've had that since like what, the Xbox 360 and PS3 generation, racing with AI and multiplayer, and then spectator mode. Again, that's a no-brainer. Games have had that for like decades at this point. Like, what's even happening? I'm not gonna lie, the closer that we get to the release date for this game, the more worried I get, but I'm staying optimistic. Next up, Netflix is now testing game streaming, and you can actually apply to test it. So, this coming from Netflix, quote, we are rolling out a limited beta test to a small number of members in Canada and the UK on select TV starting today, which was a couple days ago at this point, so you guys can, you know, go apply for it now, and on PCs and Macs through Netflix.com on supported browsers in the next few weeks. 2 games will be a part of this initial test. Oxenfree from Night School Studio, a Netflix game studio, and Mole Hugh's Mining Adventure, a gem mining arcade game. To play our games on TV, we're introducing a controller that we already have in our hands most of the day, our phones. Members on PCs and Macs can play on Netflix.com with a keyboard and mouse. This limited beta is meant to test our game streaming technology and controller and to improve the member experience over time. Games on TV will operate on select devices from our initial partners including Amazon Fire TV streaming media players, Chromecast with Google TV, LG TVs, NVIDIA Shield TV, Roku devices and TVs, Samsung Smart TVs, and Walmart ON. Additional devices will be added on an ongoing basis, end quote. So this is cool and all, you know, making video games more readily accessible because, you know, like everybody has Netflix, so you know this will make it more accessible for more people just to get into gaming, period. The only thing is, using your touchscreen as a controller, yeah, you're not going to be playing any, like, FPS games or any racing games, really, or anything like that, you know, because, I mean, obviously, it's possible to stream those games. I mean, look at something like Stadia. Well, that was probably a bad example, but think about, like, you know, xCloud, like, you know, like, Xbox Game Pass and such. Obviously, it's possible to stream, like, first-person shooters and racing games and such, so I feel like a happy middle ground here would be, like, if they found a way to allow you to either use your phone as a controller, like, leave that as an option, of course, just so that anybody can use it, but then also give out some other options. Maybe if you can connect like a controller to your TV or something like that. Personally, I don't have Netflix, so I won't be able to try this, and I won't be able to like sign up to try it. I don't know. I don't really watch shows or movies or anything like that. I mean, I'm a gamer. I wake up, I play games, I make videos, I play more games. Sometimes I sleep. Sometimes I don't. I'm usually just playing games. The only things that I slow down to watch are like YouTube before I go to bed or something like that. But yeah, personally, I don't really have a use for Netflix. But if you do have Netflix, or if you want to try to apply for this, see if maybe you can try to test it out, then you're able to do that now. They are doing those beta tests. Next up, we got the second wave of August Xbox Game Pass games here. The first being Everspace 2, which is available now. Firewatch, which is available now. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which should be available now. That's going live the same day that this video is going up, so it should be there. Sea of Stars coming August 29th. Super excited for that game. And Greece, not really sure how you're supposed to say that, but that's coming September 5th, so not really August, but, still in that second wave there. That's a really good game. It's absolutely beautiful. I don't want to spoil any of it. Please give that one a shot. It's not too long, but, again, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's one of those games where, that journey type game, you know what I mean, where you play it, you're more there just to experience it and soak in the atmosphere. It's really good. And finally, I have a recap of the THQ Nordic showcase that took place. So, first thing, they shone some light on a couple of the actors that will be in the upcoming Alone in the Dark game, showing off their in-game models and animations. It was honestly really impressive seeing the way that the faces were moving and the eyebrows and the mouths and everything were like working together to like get their emotions across as they were saying things. Like, it was impressive. After that, they showed off South Park Snow Day. Super excited for that one. Always great to have more South Park games. Outcast: A New Beginning, Recreation, Titan Quest 2, Trine 5: A Clockwork Conspiracy, which I am so excited for that one. The Trine series is so underrated. Trines 1, 2, 3, and 4 were all amazing. I definitely highly recommend those. It's not one of those things where you need to play a previous one before getting into the next one, so if you want to wait till Trine 5, you can, but some of those are available on like PS Plus Extra, for example, and they're on literally every other platform, so if you ever see them on sale, or if you think about picking them up, I highly recommend those, like 2.5D puzzle platformer type games. They're really good. Anyway, then we're also getting a Gothic 1 remake. They showed off TMNT, The Last Ronin, or they put up a teaser for it. Apparently, it's going to be like God of War 2018 inspired, so it'll be really interesting to have a TMNT game in that fashion. I'm so excited for that one. It's not even funny. TMNT is just one of my favorite franchises, period. And then Way of the Hunter, Tickamoon Plains DLC. So, not a huge showcase overall, but still some exciting stuff there. We got Gamescom coming up here soon, and then after that, we'll be getting into, the last quarter of the year where there's a bunch of showcases and the Game Awards and new announcements, so yeah, things will definitely be heating up on this show. But anyways, that's all the stories that I got for you guys this week. Now, I'd definitely love to hear from you guys. Are you guys playing Atlas Fallen? Are you a little disappointed about the features that are going to be missing from Forza Motorsport? That one still kind of boggles my mind. Are you excited for Starfield? Whatever it is, whatever you're thinking, I'd definitely love to hear from you guys. But anyway, this is Weekly GCap. New episodes go live every single Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern, so if you want to catch them as soon as they go live, well, then now you know when to be here. But anyways, that's it for me, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing day and an amazing weekend. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Peace.